How we doing, everybody? I am back today with a kind of a prop talk type of thing. This is a team talk, but it's more like a prop talk. I know we did a prop talk, but this time we're just gonna touch base on setup and propping. We've had a ton of questions, ton of questions about this prop right here. Can you see that? Anybody? Can you read that, Jordan? Okay, good. So this is a Scorpion. I've had a ton of questions with the Suzuki guys and even some Merc guys on this Scorpion. Now, there's things you gotta know about this Scorpion here. This is an old model, okay? If you look at these ports, you see that port right there? That is an old port. So when you're looking at these, especially Merc guys and Suzuki guys alike, this prop is probably not going to work for what you're gonna do because it doesn't have the variable vents. It doesn't have the adjustable vents. It's got the single small hole. Will it work? Yeah, you can get them drilled, you can get them reported. But when you're buying a Scorpion, if you're buying it offline, somebody's got one and they got a really good deal on it because they ran it and it doesn't work for them because they probably don't know how to set their boat up. You got to make sure you're not, I mean, you can buy that old prop, but you don't want to probably be running it. You're going to want to get the one with the variable ports. And the variable vent ports are very similar to the Evinrude port with the Torx, and you adjust it to get your Optimum exhaust flow over the top of the blades. This right here is the new one. Notice the vent system down here. So this is the new one right here. The other one was the old one. Make sure we're getting this box right here. But I know I got guys that are saying I bought the prop and I'm doing this and this, that, and the other, and it's not perfect and I get it, trust me. Propping is a game. Setting up is a game, okay? And when I say a game, it can get expensive very quickly. You got to understand that the 25 Scorpion isn't for everybody's boat that's running a Suzuki outboard, okay? It's not like if you're running, I got flats boats or offshore boats that guys are questioning on the Scorpion. I don't know what, like I said, I was talking to Jordan today and I said, if I could take the magic foo-foo dust and put it in a Ziploc bag and mail it to you and you could sprinkle it on there and everything would work, I'd sell it. We should sell that. I think people would buy that. Don't you think? I could put fairy dust in there or something, or call it motor magic dust? Motor magic dust for sale at Team Marine. $3,000 a bag. It'll make your motor just perform like, yeah, that's it. We're done. That's it. That's what you need. No, serious note. You got to, it's going to be expensive. You're probably going to end up owning 2 or 3 or 4 different props because there's different conditions, there's different boats, there's different, like I said, I go back to Tom because Tom loves the 4-blade. Tom loves a 4-blade prop. He's always been a 4-blade guy. Adrian loves the 3-blade. I'm a 3-blade guy. I want to go fast. Tom wants to get on plane and have boat control in rough water. See, I'm talking right there, differences. But when you're talking complete setup, when we're setting these Suzukis up and we're setting them up on bass boats and we're setting them up like on the 203 Champion, we're up to a 27 now. 20. I say now because this was a brand new road for us. We put the 25 on, over rev. We can get 26 on, over rev. Getting close, put the 27 on, which is really a 28. People, understand this. The Scorpion is a 15 and an 8 diameter by 27, which is really a 28 pitch. And I say that because this, even on this worn out old pile of poo, you can still see the cup that comes, I mean, it's clear out to over here. You see how thick those blades are? I mean, it is not your standard everyday run-of-the-mill propeller. It's got a lot of Yamaha M look to it. For you guys that know what the M prop looks like, it's got a lot of that look, but it's just a thicker blade. It runs the cup way out, and you get a crap ton of lift with these. If you buy one of these and you're not getting lift and you're not getting RPMs, you have to start adjusting things, start playing with your motor. I was talking to Jordan and Neil about my experience with one of my 203s that I had with a Merc. It was literally 12 months up here, which is about 8 months, maybe 9 of run time. So it's almost a year and a half up here of setup on one boat I had, and I had $5,000, something like that into it by the time I was done, just to get it to, every time I reprop, I could retweak to get more. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. I try this, I would retweak, and literally inches or half an inch, quarter of an inch at a time on a jack plate would get me to where I needed to be. Like I said, you get a hydraulic jack plate, you get your motor set optimum positioning, you make sure that you're going wide open. That's another thing. Some of these motors that we're getting in here aren't even going wide open. The throttle position sensors and the wide open's not even set. I mean, they're going off the hot foot, and the hot foot's set, or the set screws backed out, and they're getting like 72% or 84%. I mean, now you're propping a turd, and you think you're trying to get more out of something. You can't get more, you get less, and people don't understand why. Make sure you take it to your service shop. Make sure stuff goes wide open. Make sure everything is cleared up before you start to go right to here. Just start spending thousands of dollars on props. You got to make sure that, take it in and say, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm going wide open. I want to make sure everything's firing correctly. Get me a leak down test, get me a compression test. Let's make sure things are ready. Now I know I can start spending some money on propellers. 4-stroke guys, Merc guys, I did put a Scorpion on a 250. I put a 23 Scorpion on a 250. Yeah, you say 23, which really a 24 on a 250, and it did really well. I was very happy with it. The customer was very happy with it. I got another one that's got 23 on it. The only way it's running good enough for him is because he's got a 23 on it, because that one's not running to performance of mercurymarine.com, going boldly. That one's just a putt-putt boat now. But that's a whole nother subject. But even then, it's not running to performance, but he's getting lift and he's able to go with that Scorpion. So I haven't tinkered with the SHO with this propeller. I don't know why it wouldn't run hard on there. But you got to remember, it's a big prop. It's a big prop. So you're gonna have two flies. See these flies? Can you see these flies, people? I'm hating these flies. Where did they come from? Anyway, flies are gone. Settle down. The SHO I haven't messed with much. The offshore or just the standard Yamaha, we haven't put any of that stuff on there. So if you guys are out there and you've done the Scorpion thing, or what are you running on, that standard Yamaha, that, you know, your normal 4-stroke, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get some info out there. Let's make it easier for people to understand what's going on, because that's what this conversation that we're having right here is about, is trying to make life easier for everybody that there's no answers for it. I mean, you know, to the point of where Mercury's having problems because now they got all their dealers set up with the demo prop program, where you can demo a prop to go try it out, because I feel it's because they're having so much runability problems on top end, people can't figure the stuff out. So I've always been a kind of a shop like that. Just this year I'm having problems because I don't have any props left. There's nothing left in the world, nothing left in our country, so we are kind of on wit's end. I do have some Scorpions tucked away, but I'm not going to borrow them for setups. You know, I got old ones like this that you can just try to get an idea. But I don't know anything more, but it could be pricey. That's basically what I can say. It may be an expensive game unless we kind of get a talk going here amongst people commenting and helping other people. I can do what I can, but I can't. I mean, I think I've had 100, maybe 200 questions about the setups on their boat and stuff like that. I can't just tell you what to do. I can get you in the ballpark, but I can't tell you because it's not here. I can't run it. And it does come down to driver also. Your experience with driving, your experience with chine walk, your experience with getting on plane, and knowing that your boat and motor are performing at peak performance. It does have a lot to do with that. But there's always some flaws in the circle of success when it comes to that. Jack plate height, jack plate setback, you know, there's just so many variables. It's not all about propping, but it is a lot about propping when it gets all set. So like I said, step one, make sure things are operating, make sure things are working, they're supposed to be. Step two, get a height set to where the comfort for you as a boater. And when I say that, optimum performance for you may be 65 miles an hour because you're locked in, there's no chine walk. If you want to take it to the limits, take it to the limits. Step three is starting to mess with propellers. Get yourself to where that machine is fully trimmed. When I say fully trimmed, out on the edge of the pegs, your jack plate is where you like it, or your motor height is set. Because some of you guys don't have jack plates, you're right to the transom, which is a whole nother deal, and you only got so many holes to check and set and do all that stuff with for height. And then you always got to make sure water pressure is there. You know, you don't have water pressure, it's going to be a short game. So make sure all the variables are there before you really start messing with propellers. And once you get to that, then you can start throwing propellers on. Or if you got a buddy that's got 2 or 3, give them a try or whatever. But like I said, when you're buying the Scorpions, make sure you can buy the old ones. There's nothing wrong with the prop. It's just the ports are so small that your on-plane performance is going to be sluggish, especially Mercury guys. I know this old prop would be a pain to get on plane for you. You'd have to get it ported or put it back on the internet and sell it. But make sure you get the variable port one. But always make sure, let's get some comments rolling. We want to hear what you're running. I want to hear their boat length. No BS now. Don't be bullshitting me on what's going on. I mean, don't tell me you're doing 95 miles an hour and you got an 18-foot boat with a 115 on or something. I mean, seriously, I kind of chuckle once in a while. But let's be honest, let's be up front so everybody gets an idea. I'm running a 27 Bravo or a 29 Bravo. I'm running a 25 Tempest. I'm running a 25 Fury or something like that. Let's get some conversations going so everybody can log and look at it and say, hey, this guy's got my boat. He's got my same setup. He's doing this. There you go. That's why we're doing this. That's what we want. So get your comments coming in. Let's get some comments rolling. Let's get this thing going so that way everybody can kind of get in here, because this is a big game. This Scorpion prop, this Fury prop, this Bravo prop, Bravo 2 prop, Tempest props, you know, the M1 prop. You know, let's get some conversation rolling with this thing. Let's get some stuff brewing. So comment, subscribe, click notification bell to witness the madness that I do call speed, money, and no brakes, baby.